All right, so here are with Charlie Kirk as he debate, he's very Democrat, of course. They went on a heated, debate, and of course, it was a very interesting one. So I choose to share it with you. So without any further ado, let's get down to the video and check this out.
I'm Mr. Kirk. I'd like to talk to you real quick. I got a test at 3, so
Okay.
I'm going to make it
right off the bat. Go ahead.
Sorry, I've been waiting. You're supposed to be here at 2:30. I just want to introduce
Complicated
myself.
business.
I want to introduce myself. I would describe myself as a libertarian independent. I'm from Massachusetts, hence the Bruin shirt. I'm not a secret Democrat. My goal here is not to expose you or anything.
Well, good luck,
but
yeah.
I think the reason why, I hope the reason why you're here, and I think the reason why debates are important is because everyone in a debate has a chance to learn something. I believe that I could learn something from you today.
Okay.
Do you believe you could learn something from me?
Possibly.
Possibly. All right. So freshman year, was told that Turning Point was a nonpartisan libertarian organization against big government. Would you care? That's how you would categorize it?
Not libertarian.
Not libertarian?
No.
Okay, well that's what they told to me.
Depends how you define libertarian, though.
Well, yeah.
How would you define it? Classically?
I would define it as freedom, individual freedom.
I love freedom.
Freedom to bear arms.
Okay.
Freedom to marry who you want to marry. Okay. Well, so you think the government should step in and regulate who people want to marry?
Well, it depends. I mean, do you think children should be able to marry adults?
No, but that's
that's the government regulating marriage.
Adults, all adults.
Oh, so kids can marry adults.
No,
well, that's the government, so you're not a libertarian.
Should be able to marry all other adults.
Oh, okay. Why adults? Why do you draw the line there, though?
I mean, age is not a protected, right under.
But why use the government to enforce age restrictions for marriage? That's not very libertarian.
Why are you saying that?
Because I'm not a libertarian.
Okay. All right. Well, anyway, I just,
So you believe the government should have some role?
I believe in small roles, as minimal as possible,
All right.
as minimal as possible to protect the well-being.
You started with an absolute statement saying, why would you want to use the government to tell people who to marry? And you agree that sometimes that's the right move.
Absolutely.
Okay, continue.
But I would not prohibit adults marrying other adults because
how about polygamous marriages? Is that okay?
Sure, because adults are doing what they would like to do. As long as everyone in that marriage consents to that polygamous marriage, there's no issue, and I don't understand why you would think that people are in danger in polygamous marriages.
Okay, continue.
And of course, just other big issues of our time, marijuana legalization.
Okay.
If you're not in favor of marijuana legalization, you're not a libertarian. I believe in that individual right.
I don't say I'm a libertarian, so I don't know why I'm on trial being something I'm not.
If you are against big government, I don't know why you would like.
Well, because interestingly enough,
you're interrupting me, Mr. Kirk. I don't know why you would like for the government to take away the rights of citizens, because I don't think that governments should take away the rights of citizens.
Right. Okay. So why is it a right to be able to do in a hallucinogenic drug?
Well, marijuana is not a hallucinogenic
well, potentially
drug.
hallucinogenic.
All right.
Not. It's obviously showing well. Continue.
Okay. Would you agree with the statement that if there are monopolies regulating all sorts of business, would you agree that that's not real capitalism if those monopolies have all the control?
Potentially, that's. I mean, you had to give me an example.
Right.
So.
Well, okay. This was the example I wrote up. A Walmart moves into a rural town, sells products cheaper than the local supermarket and clothing stores.
Okay.
The other stores begin going out of business. After the other stores go out of business, Walmart raises its prices. They begin hiring immigrants, cheaper wages. Should the government step in and regulate the business to help those people?
Depends.
Okay.
That's how a conservative would answer the question. You have to use prudence.
All right. Last thing I wanted to talk about real quickly, there are some real idiots running for office, both sides of the spectrum, right? I mean, I didn't say it before, some Democrats I despise, Nancy Pelosi, Cory Bush, Chuck Schumer.
Good for you, we agree.
Idiots, all right? All right? However, there's one real pressing candidate on the right that I think a lot of conservatives are starting to realize is a complete nut job, and I just want to hear your opinions on Mr. Herschel Walker. Now, his son, well-known conservative influencer, I believe you may have met him at some point.
Yeah, I did a whole show on this, so I hope you know my position on it.
I know your position is that you are in favor of electing Herschel Walker.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
Over
and again, that's not Turning Point's position, but that's mine.
A person whose job it is to profess religion, a pastor, you believe that Herschel Walker is more fit than that person for office, and
absolutely.
Maybe you can explain that.
Yes, that's correct.
But you think so. Your sign right here: abortion should be illegal.
Yes.
So why is Herschel Walker not in jail?
Well, first of all, we don't know he paid for the abortion. Okay. So what's the evidence to show he did?
Well, if he is,
it's a very serious accusation.
Okay.
I agree.
If he is linked by direct evidence, you would at that point say that he should not be
Potentially,
Trump
but
fraud.
I'd have to make that decision. But he denies
Okay.
it, and the evidence is very shaky. It's very shaky.
It's not.
Yeah, but
That's okay.
Raphael Warnock wants to make abortion up to the point of birth, and he wants
I
to make
don't
that
think that's true at
policy.
all.
Well, he does. He's voted
Okay.
that way.
All right.
So that's Warnock's
Was
policy.
there, you said he's voted that way. Was there ever a vote set on whether
Multiple
abortion should be
times.
legal
Yes.
up to the point
Yes,
of birth?
multiple times.
All right. Well, my personal view is that it should be up until a baby can survive outside the womb. At that point, because I think there's a difference between when it relies upon the mother's body and when
so
it
a
doesn't.
26-week-old baby that has to go to the NICU is not a human being?
I believe the precedent for the NICU thing was 22 weeks. I believe.
Yeah.
that
So
was where it belonged.
so you're, but they can't survive without help.
I would be okay if a state decided that was not the rule.
Got it.
But
So let me ask.
I don't have any issue with the Supreme Court's ruling on
Yeah,
it.
let
but
me
I
ask
think,
you- can I ask you a question?
I really like Tim Miller.
No.
Okay, Tim Miller is he runs the Bulwark Project, the Republican Voters Against Trump Instagram page. Lifelong Republican, helped George Bush's campaign, worked with Jeb Bush.
Okay.
His opinion is it's ridiculous to say that abortion should be legal in all cases or illegal in all cases.
Right.
There are obviously.
Well, let me ask you a very simple question.
Yes.
When does life begin?
In my opinion, well, human life began, or when does life begin? Because that's a different question.
Human life. That's the operative question,
Human
right?
life begins when a human can survive outside. A human can survive outside the body.
Why do you believe that?
That would be well, because
No, I don't.
All right. Human life. If I cut off my finger, is that human?
Got it.
That clump of human cells, is that different?
Well, let me ask you a question. So if someone who's on a ventilator who can't survive without external machine support, is that a human life?
Well, they can survive outside the womb.
But not without a machine,
I mean,
without assistance,
Oh,
without
but
help.
Okay, people on ventilators, oftentimes will cede their right to be removed from
Or
a
someone on
ventilator, and
dialysis,
that's
or
not
someone who's in a nursing home. They can't support themselves, right? So, but those are still human lives.
Yes.
Got it.
Okay.
So
I think you know the difference between a developing human that may not have a heartbeat or may not have.
Well, heartbeats start at 6
may
weeks,
not
so that's a
have
different.
organs that help you.
Now we're
Okay,
moving it
but
back.
So you would be okay with a 6-week abortion ban?
You can come up. That's okay.
You would be
In a second.
You would be okay with a 6-week abortion ban?
No, of course not.
Okay, well then there will this aware.
No, but you've already moved.
I'd be okay with a 6-week abortion ban if.
Okay,
I
but
would be,
you've
especially
that's
with
fine. I mean,
compromise.
we're at least we're getting
If-
somewhere.
If Democrats and
Well,
Republicans.
no, I would be
in
okay with that
Congress
ban. Is
were
that my ideal?
able-
No, but no, I agree. I
my
didn't
ideal
answer
would
your.
be 15 weeks.
I didn't answer your question
15
correctly.
to 22 weeks, I would say, would be my ideal, and I think that it's important that we recognize the issues that are a lot more important than
All right.
5, 6, 16 weeks in an abortion ban, right?
Well, you came prepared. I wanna get to
basically,
other people, so.
all of the audience here, I just want you to know, don't see red or blue. Charlie Kirk wants you to see red versus blue. He wants you to see that you should vote for one of the main political parties. In supporting that, you are supporting the big government system that Mr. Kirk dislikes. Vote third party if you want. If you're dissatisfied with both parties, vote third party and support candidates that want to make ranked choice voting allowed, so that we can have more candidates and better candidates. Because when we have ranked choice voting, candidates that better support what the people want will win.
Thank you, my
Mr.
friend.
Kirk.
Thanks
it
for
was
being
really
here.
nice talking
Appreciate
to you.
it. Thank
I do
you.
respect you a lot,
God
and I
bless
hope
you.
that you keep learning from people who talk to you today.
I listen to you. Thank you.
Wow, that's very interesting. Well, even though when he came, he says that in a sense he was not prepared, that he was having, is it a test or something like internal assessment or something like that? Rather, he is not, in a sense, prepared, but then he just want to spend few minutes of his time, and then therefore he want to share a little bit things, you understand, with Charlie Kirk, and then he also want to learn, you understand, from him, and then the conversation, you understand, began. But then at the end of the day, he was one of the students that actually came with evidence, even though he says that, you understand, he is not prepared, you understand, to kind of dialogue, you understand, with Charlie Kirk. But you bear with me that he was fully, you understand, ready. But then he decided, you understand, to act that way, that, you understand, he was going somewhere. But nevertheless, whatever, you understand, he said, you understand, most of them, you understand, we are legitimate. Some of the things, you understand, he pointed out, you understand, they were right, and then he actually, you understand, took over, you understand, the conversation and all that, and then he keep on talking and all that. But then at the end of the day, everything still end up, you understand, with the policy. Now they discussed, you understand, so many things, you understand, about when life, you understand, began. But then the thing is, when this life really began, Why should we really look at it and says that if it can survive on its own, then that is when life began? So if we look at it as a 5-month baby, can the 5-month baby survive on its own? Do you understand? Can a 5-month baby in a sense survive on its own? Can a 1-year-old baby in a sense survive on its own? So when did life really began? Should we say, in a sense, during intercourse, or should we say, in a sense, at 6 weeks of conception? When exactly should we even say, in a sense, life, you understand, began? Because if you look at, in a sense, his own argument, he is saying that it should be based on how the human or the person, in a sense, can be able to survive. But nevertheless, I know that a lot of you have thought an opinion, in a sense, concerning this, and I wanted to help me answer this, you understand, at the comment session. But then if you look at it, you understand, in this very way, I just feels like there is actually a need for government to kind of regulate, in a sense, certain things, and that's the reason why you see this says that before you vote you have to be what, 18 years, before you're able to allow to drink, right, that you have to reach what, 18 years, before maybe you'll be allowed, in a sense, for you to marry, and then you will not be accused of rape or something of that nature. At least the person should be from the years from 18 years, in a sense, upward, right? Anything other than that, in as much as, even if the law says that, even if, you understand, for instance, a woman, if she's below 18, even if, you understand, it's consensual, but then therefore you have intercourse with her and she's not up to 18, it can be considered, you understand, as rape. Why do you think, you understand, that the government try to regulate some of these things? And then now, if you study science, you understand, a little bit, we will talk about the anions, cations, and then all that. Now we have positive, we have negative, right? Positive, negative attract, negative, negative repel, positive, positive repel, right? So why should male marry? Why should female marry? Why should some of them decide that, okay, look, let me be the man and then you be the woman, and then they decide that they want to marry, and then you want us to accept it the way it is and says that it's their freedom to decide whatever they want to be, and then therefore it should be like that. So what now happened to the gender that God gave them? If we even look at, in a sense, from creation, from Genesis chapter 1 verse 27, that God created both man and woman. So what now happened to some of those things? Why are we not deciding, in a sense, our own genders? So when you look at, in a sense, some of those things, so there's a need for us to show, you understand, leadership by showing a way. So that's why at some point I feel that maybe the government have to step in, you understand, in order to save the society. Else otherwise people are kind of overdoing things, and then that's the reason why you see even churches, right, they tend to wait all these homosexuals. Some of these things don't even happen, in a sense, in Islam. In the mosque, some of these things in some don't happen. So why is it that we, Christianity, we are the one tolerating, in a sense, some of these things? Anyway, they are all debatable, and may God see us through. So this is the end of my video. If you like my reaction, should like, share, and subscribe. If you have any video you want me to react to, don't forget to drop it at the comment section and I'm going to check it out. So you remain blessed, and I see you in my next video.